Hey guys, this is Chloe and I'm very excited today because I'm gonna show you how I graded my first film. So you're gonna see how I came from this, which is the Rec 709, to this, which is my grade, my final grade. Wait. Before you see my note tree, I think you need a bit more context how it's meant to me. So since I was a kid, I've been fascinated with movies. I was making friends thanks to movie references. Most of my jokes came from them, and still today my identity is strongly marked by these movies that made me who I am today. I didn't really understand at that time what was the magic of cinema and storytelling, but I knew I wanted to work on a film one day. Years later, I realized this dream thanks to William Robin, who is the director of the movie I graded, but particularly Lena Pradelle, who is the co-director, and Valentin Sion, who is the sound designer and VFX artist. We are going to meet them, don't worry. But first, let's rewind a bit. Lena and Valentin are my childhood friends. We were doing almost everything together. Hang out in middle school and high school, staying together in the same boarding school, and started the band of my life. Guys, one of the things I am the most proud of, PVC. So you can see here is Valentin and Lena and me. PVC was an amazing stage of our life. We were rehearsing, recording and touring together. We were composing together, building our own shows together, our music videos together. We did everything together. Until everything stopped. I moved on the other side of the world, COVID happened, and only weeks being away from each other became years. One day, when I came back from holidays in my hometown, I invited them at mine to share a meal. The conversation turned around the film they were making together. It naturally came to the conversation if I was interested to grade the movie, and I answered yes. In my mind, PVC was coming back together, but in another form, in another context. And it was as rock and roll as the old days. So guys, here's the movie I graded. Le Miel, Qu'On Lèche sur l'épine. Directed by William Robin and Lena Pradelle. VFX and sound by Valentin Sion. I'll let you watch their interview and I will reveal my note tree for this spicy look.
Bla 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 bla.
C'est l'histoire d'une courgette qui court et qui se jette.
Bienvenue à vous sur le canapé que j'ai réquisitionné. Comment s'est fait ce film en fait? Comment l'idée est arrivée? Comment tu es arrivé sur le projet?
Alors le film, c'est vraiment le projet de William à la base. C'est un film assez personnel qui s'inspire des histoires de sa famille. C'était vraiment un projet assez intime à la base. Et du coup, pour ce projet-là, il avait besoin de quelqu'un pour gérer la partie technique de la réal, parce qu'il voulait vraiment se concentrer sur le jeu d'acteur, sur la direction d'acteur et sur la prod, parce qu'il a fait une grosse partie de la prod aussi en amont. Et du coup, j'ai fait le découpage technique en tant qu'assistante réal. En fait, c'était vraiment ça. À la base, il cherchait un assistant réal. Et du coup, j'ai fait une tellement grosse partie de l'écriture visuelle du film qu'on a décidé de le signer à deux.
Ok.
Voilà.
Bon du coup, tu t'es
Je me suis incrustée.
Ouais, t'es réal incrustée quoi.
C'est ça.
Comme moi, je m'incruste ici, tu vois. Donc du coup, quelle caméra avez-vous décidé et comment s'est passé le tournage?
Alors, donc c'était un petit budget, le tournage, c'était un film indépendant avec beaucoup de force volontaire et pas beaucoup de sous. Donc ça a été petite caméra aussi. Donc on a choisi le GH5 qui était la cam du chef-op. Voilà, le tournage ça s'est passé en une semaine, je sais pas, 8h, 2h du mat pendant 7 jours à peu près.
Bien.
Voilà, c'était très très dense.
Pourquoi, du coup, on est resté sur un workflow juste totalement DaVinci?
C'est moi là.
Ouais, c'est toi, c'est ton tour.
Déjà, ça nous fait un seul logiciel, donc ça évite de switcher de logiciel et d'avoir des pertes ou des problèmes de conformation, de trucs comme ça. Et puis, c'était l'occasion de tester aussi, parce que maintenant que c'est bien développé, que le montage est efficace, Et moi je voulais essayer aussi la partie son, toute la partie son.
Que je remette un petit peu de contexte. Au début, j'étais au courant du film, mais j'étais pas sur le projet. Et en fait, ce qui s'est passé, c'est qu'on a eu une conversation à table et c'est venu assez naturellement. Mais en fait, ma question, c'est si jamais il n'y avait pas eu cette conversation, comment est-ce que vous aurez fait?
Bah, comme d'hab, on se serait débrouillé.
On l'aurait fait à deux.
Enfin, je sais pas quand on aurait fini le film, surtout.
Ok.
Puis ça fait un regard extérieur en plus, qui était bien.
Ah ouais.
Parce que sinon, toute la post-prod a été faite juste par nous deux.
Qu'est-ce que tu imaginais en fait pour les talos de base?
Alors moi, j'avais pas mal en référence les films d'Araki, sombres et pop en même temps, avec des noirs assez profonds et en même temps les quelques couleurs qu'il y a assez pétantes. C'était un film qui parlait beaucoup du souvenir, des photos de famille, des souvenirs de famille. Donc il y avait un peu cette croisée-là que je voulais voir. Et en fait, le Super 8, je l'ai vu en plus sans t'en parler, c'est toi qui l'as un peu trouvé toute seule et je t'ai dit, bah vas-y, pars là-dedans, c'est joli et ouais, je l'avais même pas vraiment formalisé avant que tu le fasses, mais il y avait cette idée et quand tu l'as fait, c'est devenu évident. On connaissait ton travail sur les pubs qu'on voyait passer de toute façon et on savait qu'on avait envie de quelque chose de coloré comme tu as l'habitude de le faire.
On s'est jamais vraiment posé dans une session Zoom où on faisait les talos ensemble. Comment ça s'est passé pour vous?
Il n'y a pas eu besoin de faire ça parce que les talos, tes choix nous plaisaient, on savait ce qu'on voulait.
Puis c'est quelque chose qui marche. Ça marche jamais de faire ça parce que si tu te retrouves dans la position du client qui est derrière et qui dit un peu plus de ça, un peu moins de ça, un peu plus de ça. Et au final, c'est tout pourri à la fin parce que...
Oh ouais, vous étiez confiant hein, quand même.
C'est ça le but, c'est que tu comprennes ce qu'on voulait et que t'en fasses un truc joli, pas juste que tu fasses ce qu'on veut.
T'as bossé super vite. Au début, je me suis dit, tu fais ça à côté de tes autres projets et ça fait 55 minutes, ça va prendre un temps fou. Et en fait, non, t'as bossé super vite. Facile.
Voilà, la magie, c'est les groupes, hein, non, Resolve. Donc après, tu sais, dès que t'as ton groupe, hop là, c'est bon. Merci.
De rien.
Merci d'être là. J'espère que tout se passera bien pour la projection.
Bah ouais, j'espère, on croise les doigts.
Plein de bonnes choses. Okay, so guys, we are in my project and I'm going to show you my notary. But first, like when you open a timeline for a film, right? The first question that you have to ask yourself is how I'm going to grade all these shots, you know, in a way that everything is going to be matching and in a way of like I won't take too much time to grade this shot. So first of all, you know, in this timeline, if you see in my computer, right, you can see the number of shots in DaVinci Resolve on your clip thumbnail. So here's the first shot and here's the last shot. So technically there's like some credits on the film, so we won't count them, but for example, let's say like I have around 280 shots to grade, which is actually pretty okay for a movie because in this movie there's not a lot of fast cuts. There's just at the end, so it multiplies a bit the number of shots, but mostly it's like very long shots. So how we are doing this, it's only like, I'm just gonna go back to the shots I am on. So it's only creating, if you see this link over here, this link here, it's only creating groups. So to create groups is very, very, very simple. You just like take your thumbnail here, you right click, and in groups, you can so either assign to group, but if you are creating group, you just add it into a new group. And when you add into a new group, you can name your group
and have all your clips together. In this case of the movie, I had my main camera that was a GH5, so that's a Panasonic V-Log. So this is the main camera, but I also had some shots that arrived in another color space or another logarithmic curve, which is some shots in ACES because of the VFX, and some shots in Rec 709 because some quacks on set. So there was like some Rec 709 footage. Easy to just group them. You just like, right click over here. You go to add into a new group, and you group each camera together. So I'm gonna show you anyway in my note tree why it makes sense. I've prepared few shots for you guys because technically I never label my notes. So if you see, for example, in this one, like there's no labels, but in this one, like I labeled it because I'm nice and I want to do a nice tutorial and not like lose everybody. Okay, so now I have all the clips that I want to show you guys. So let's just start with this one. So this one, let's just have a bit more real estate. Okay, perfect. So this one is actually very simple. So why groups are pretty interesting? Oh my god, this marker, man. Like, okay. Why this group is pretty interesting? Let's just like put her now here. This group is very interesting because for example, all the vlog footage, I can put my CST before and I can put my CST after the group. So if you see, I have few options, which is clip, group pre-clip, group post-clip, and timeline. So I only use group pre-clip right now because I want to have my footage over here that was in Vlog, like that. Go from Panasonic V-Gamut Vlog to DaVinci Y-Gamut DaVinci Intermediate. That's all. So it's nice because this is the first node of my sandwich, and after I can go to group post clip and go to my other CST, which will close my sandwich, which is DaVinci Y-Gamut to Rec 709 and Cine on Film Log. I'm going to explain for you why I put the Cine on Film Log. It's because I use the Fuji LUT. I'm going to show you. I use the Fuji LUT D65 from DaVinci Resolve, just because like I really like the feel, and also because it was making me a different result that if I've done everything in Dehancer. So because we are talking about Dehancer, actually, let's just jump straight to Dehancer. And so Dehancer, of course, because I'm inside the sandwich of the CSTs that are in DaVinci Y-Gamut, then like I want my source to be DaVinci Y-Gamut Intermediate, right? So we are in the right color space to work. So as Lena said inside the interview, she wanted a feel that was a bit more like Super 8. So I applied Astrom color negative film. So this is just a film. It's not a film print like DaVinci is doing. Just why is because this is only the film. So it's like if you take your celluloid, for example, and the film print that DaVinci has is the way of printing this celluloid. So so then like because I don't want to use the Dehancer way of printing, I'm just going to keep my print into linear mode, right? So yes, I added a bit of film grain, but really slight, because I felt that like it would damage more the image than like it would help it. So very slight grain. And I put some basic halation, which was going very nice into the exteriors, because like exteriors you have the sun that is beaming on the skin and everything, but it's still okay for the interior. It's not going too crazy when the light is shining on them. So this is actually all for the answer. And so we're gonna see what we are doing in the clip level. So we just go back to clip, and if you see, oh my god, this marker stuff, and if you see, we have different notes, and I try always to keep it very simple. Why? It's because I'm gonna have a lot of clips to do, and I want to keep my workflow as simple as possible. Just because like when I extend, I don't have any problems that occurs in the image. So my balance over here is only a balance of lift and gain. I didn't even use the gamma, but I used also the offset over here, you know. So it's just a balance. I added a bit of color boost, and I remove the temperature a tiny bit. So if you see, let's just like remove that. Let's just remove this, okay? So this is the image just with the enhancer and the Fuji, okay? Which is pretty magenta because of the GH5. What I can do is showing you normally what the Rec 709 would do. It's like that, up, gamma 2.4, yep, gamma 2.4 here. So this would be normally what the GH5 Rec 709, so which is very pink, something that we don't want, right? So I'm just gonna put back my thing. So when I don't do any adjustment, everything is really pink because of like the nature of the log. So for balance, I'm gonna show you. So this is with my balance. I've put everything a bit greener, so then like we are compensating the magenta going on in the image. After I've done like some HDR. So with the HDR, it's just like cleaning a bit of the light going on her face, but it's very slight. What I've done is also I've done a bit of split toning, because I was still thinking that in the shadows the pink was too prominent. So it made the image a bit more green, but we can we can compensate after. So this is the split tone. Split tone, I'm just going to show you again, but this is like this kind of split toning happening mostly in the shadows. And the hues, I added a bit more pink in the skin. So over here, so this is before, this is after, so it makes everything a bit more natural. We bring in back the pink that we wanted, but not too much. And so I just added some density, which is a DCTL that you can find for free in Bad Venture. I mean, like I put you the link of this, so you can download this DCTL, which is pretty convenient. So it just adds a bit more density in the image. So this is before, this is after. And so we added a vignette at the end, which will bring back a bit more life to the character and just make the focus a bit more prominent on the character. So this is before and this is after, which is cool. I like that. So for the vlog, this is actually what I have, because I mean, like all my vlog footage would be almost the same. Technically, like it pass because it's in a group. Everything that I put in this group is affected, right? So I'm just going to show you on another vlog footage that I quite like, actually. This one I really like. So this vlog footage, right? So if you see, it has the same characteristic as the other vlog footage that I showed you, which is the Fuji over here, the CST, and the dehancer. And if you see, the group pre-clip is still like V-Gamut, Vlog to DaVinci White Gamut. So in the clip, I'm just going to show you, but it's also the same principle as the how you call that, the outdoor shot that I showed you. So this is our just dehancer and Fuji film print. And so here's my balance, which makes everything a bit more green. Here's my HDR, so it's very subtle. I don't think like you're gonna see it on YouTube, but let's see. And so this is my split toning. So the split toning is making the shadows very green, which I like. And so because I really like this kind of feel, like this green coming in, I wanted to just break the contrast, just have a very harsh contrast, with my hues. And so then like I really push the yellow out, so then like we have this kind of really contrasty image just in color. So this is before and this is after. So I like this style, and so luckily like Lena and William liked it too. And so I put some density as usual, pretty nice tool, and some vignettes, so is a bit brought back, and the vignette just like to have the surroundings a bit more dark. Okay, so this is all for the Panasonic V-Log footage. Now I'm going to show you how I matched with the SS footage and the Rec 709 footage. To show you the ACES clip, I'm just going to click here, and we're going to go to the ACES one. So the ACES one is a bit more technical, you know, like to just like put in the same gamma space than the others. So what I've done, if you see, I go to my group pre-clip, and I've done my CST that I haven't labeled, sorry guys, but I've done my CST from ACES. So my input color space is ACES. My input gamma is gamma 2.4 because when I received the ACES, it was mapped in gamma 2.4. So this is actually my log, if you see. And so we go to DaVinci White Gamut. Okay. So after, for a group post clip, for the CST, it doesn't change then because I went from my ACES and I brought it to DaVinci White Gamut to after interpret it in Rec 709 Cineon. So then like everything is good and ready to go and clean. So I can use my dehancer normally in this. So the dehancer doesn't change. And so yeah, for this clip I'm just going to show you what I've done to make it match up. So if you see, I'm just going to show you the clip. So if you see, this is actually the ACES that is mapped in DaVinci White Gamut and outputted in Rec 709, which makes like everything goes crazy. but this is completely normal. So to compensate it, here's my balance. So my balance is, like the other clips, I'm trying to just bypass this pink in the log. So here you are. And so for my HDR, I had like to really tone down the highlights, but everything was recoverable, so that was okay. So we went from this highlights to this highlights. That's why HDR widths are amazing. Contrast, I've put in a bit of contrast just like to replicate a bit the Panasonic V-Log. So it's very slight. This is before and this is after. After we put split toning just like to do like the Panasonic V-Log. So we are in the same style. So this is before and this is after. And so for the hues, we change a bit the hues like globally, because how an ACES is mapping the colors is not at all the same how V-Log Rec 709 is mapping the color. So we try actually to get as close as possible, even though you won't have 100% match. It's as long as it's making sense when you are watching the film, then you achieve the matching, right? So then, like, to ease actually this viewing, we just went from a house that was quite dense in terms of color to something less dense and a bit more blue in the windows, right? And so we added a bit of density, but this density is not acting the same way as like the color we had before. So this is good, and it makes it a bit more wrapped up. It wrapped up like to match everything. And so for the vignette, we have just a very slight vignette that is just like trying to focus on the character, but there is no like highlights added on the character, because already if you see, the sun like was really like beaming on her, so it doesn't make sense to bring her more, right? So then it's only vignettes outside, so we darken the outsides, and this is how we match the aces. And so the last one is like kind of a school case, because like sometimes you can have like some shoots where you have like the footage in log, and there's some footage that can arrive in Rec 709, and it happens, you know, like sometimes there's some quacks on set, and this happened with this shoot. And so what I did to bring it back to the same color space, because when it's in the same color space, it is very easier to match. So we went to the group pre-clip over here, and so input color space, we went from Rec 709, because this is a Rec 709. I'm going to show you the log, right? This is a Rec 709 map footage. So then like we went from Rec 709 Gamma 2.4 to DaVinci Wide Gamut. So when it's mapped perfectly like that, we can go to the group post-clip, the group post-clip, and we go to the CST and see that like we go from the DaVinci Wide Gamut to the Rec 709 Senior Nog, and now it's easy to put our Fuji, right, and to have our de-enhancer working the same way as the Panasonic V-Log footage. So in the clip itself, I can show you what I've done, and so I'm going to show you everything. So this is what we have with like the with the de-enhancer and the Fuji film. So this is actually a pretty good base because instead of being super pink, this is a bit more yellowish. So for the balance, we went from this to this. So I tried to put back a natural skin tone and cancel a bit this yellow going on. For HDR, this is very subtle. We just like reduce a bit the light overall. Split tone, we introduced the green overall that was in the film, so it will match better during the scene, because during this scene there's like mix of V-Log and mix of Rec 709. And so for the hues, we went back to something a bit more natural for the skin. And density, we just like have a bit more density inside the image, which make it a bit more pleasing for the eye, and a bit more filmic, which then like go closer to the vlog. So for the vignettes, just like to bring back her face, we just like put the vignette on. So if you see, this is before and this is after. So this is how I graded my first film. This is actually like a real personal project, because as you saw before, Lena and Valentin are my childhood friend, my partners in crime, you know, and just like seeing, like, just come back with each other with a project again, you know, that wasn't music, but like with a project again, like where we could work together. It felt like a revival of my rock band, you know, with them. So that was really emotional. That was a really emotional process. I really enjoyed it, and I hope you guys like enjoy it. I heard that William and Lena will like just send the film to a film festival. So if, for example, in your country the film is passing, just don't hesitate to go see it. It's really fun. I really like it. And so yeah, if like it got released online, I'm gonna tell you guys. I'm just gonna tell you, because like I'm so proud of it. You know, it's really nice. Yeah, and so don't hesitate in the comments if you have like any other suggestion for a topic in the video. And yeah, I see you next time, guys. See you.